whole year, if not more, without fail, every single day, she would send me encouraging either verses, quotes, whatever. And so I would literally, the first day was looking at them like, yeah, whatever. The next day I see another one, I'm like, okay, whatever. The third day I was like, okay, it's like she's insisting. Does she know something? So, okay, let me look at it, okay, fine. The fourth day, literally, every single day. And when I told her this story much later, she does not even remember she did this. Wow. She does not remember she did this. It got to a point, by the third month, that's when my mind sort of woke up. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think God is saying something here. And so because I wasn't deleting them, I went back from day one and I started reading and really imprinting what I was hearing. And so when the thoughts would come to my mind, the next thing I would do is switch. And that's what I want you to do. You notice and you switch. And what I would switch to, I would read what she was sending me. Okay? The second thing that you need to do is to change your state. Change your state. What does that mean? Right now, we're in a state here. Hope maybe some of us are expecting to hear something. That's a state. Maybe here you're expecting to receive or meet somebody. That's a state. So you must change your state to be in a state of expectance. And so for me, what I did in that season is I love music. So I hear music, I listen to music, and music speaks to me. And what I would do to change my state, I would turn on music. And there's a specific song in that season that I loved by Celine Dion. It says, "A new day has come." I would listen to that song every day, and I would say, yeah, a new day has come. I would just change my state in that day, in that moment. So that's the second thing you do. The third thing you want to do is you must have a state of gratitude. Now, this step, I don't remember applying this step. But this is what we were taught, right? So I'm telling you, now I do it. These days, or even not these days, but over the last couple of years, I've been doing it. But then, I wasn't doing that. So you must be in a state of gratitude. Why gratitude? Because what happens is, you're not aware of what's going on around the world, right? You're going through difficulties, you're going through a hard season. But even then, you've heard my story. There was hard, but there was also things moving on. So what typically happens with the human mind, our brain wants to focus on the difficult things, on the hard things, on the scared things. So what I want you to do in that season is to switch your mind and begin to notice, what are you grateful for? In that moment when you feel like you're being defeated, you gotta search. I mean, listen, you are in the pits of the pits. You have to look out and say, okay, God, thank you for that tree, honestly. Like, thank you for this flower here. Thank you for this. You know what? My fingers. You have to look for something and be grateful for it. Now, the reason why those 3 steps are important, before I give you the final one, these are important because what it does, remember we're doing this every single day. It has to be consistent. You begin to tap into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, everything that you do on a daily basis happens from your subconscious mind. The things that you do automatically, without even thinking, brushing your teeth, it's very automatic. When you get out of when you're putting on your clothes, you probably start wearing, if you wear pants, you probably use your right leg first. It's very automatic. So what you're doing this time is now you're letting your brain know and your subconscious mind know, hey, yeah, this is how we do. When we get an issue or a problem, we switch. Then what do? We notice and switch. So that's what we do. Then what do you do next? State. And then the third thing you do is you become in a state of gratitude. Then the final step, and this is the most important step, is you must see your future. You must see your future. In that moment, in that difficulty, you must see it with clarity. For me, in that season, I went back and I could see what I had been shown. God speaks to me in dreams and visions. And I'd seen and I was clear on what I had seen. And so in that moment, I would see and I would call on Celine Dion's song. DJ, can you look for that song for me? A New Day Has Come by Celine Dion. A New Day Has Come. Because what that song says is, okay, Carrie, yes. And what that does is, when you put yourself in that state of seeing the future, you're now letting your brain know, because your brain does not know the future from the present. It knows it as the same. So when you put yourself in that state, you're now going to be living as if you've already achieved it. And so when you get distracted, when you get frustrated, you now have the tools to to work on yourself, to change your state, to shift your state, and it doesn't become this thing that paralyzes us. Because when we're going through those things, how many of us are honest enough to say, yeah, I can get paralyzed sometimes because I was. And so with this song with Celine Dion, what it did was I would put myself and I would see the future. And I would repeat, and it was actually a song of thanksgiving. If you really listen to that song, she talks about how she had been waiting for a son for a very long time. And it's funny, every time she sang that song, I knew it was the son. And I was like, for me, it's not the son. I don't want that. I know what I want. Like, that's what I would tell myself that I was listening to that song. I would see it and in my mind, and I would sing that song. I hadn't achieved what I needed, but I would do that. And now what happened over time is God, therefore, then eventually opened me up to my purpose. He opened up the door because once I figured and I found, oh, yeah, I need to work with women. Oh, I need to help them. It just became so clear because hindsight is always 20/20, isn't it? Now when I look back and I think about our business, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing that ever happened to us. Because out of that, not only did I get clarity for what I needed to do in life, not only did I understand that there are two parts of life that go on simultaneously at the same time. You go through frustrations, but you're still making progress. You're crying in bed, but you got to get up and still do the work. I got to see that with clarity and I got to experience it. So as we're here today and as the ladies are coming to speak to us, I want you to put on those two eyes, to notice what you're going through, but then also know that there is a future for you. Also know that it is possible for you to get to that dream that you have. Also know that you absolutely can become that thriving woman. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Celine Dion.